All right, so in this next part of the lesson, we are going to be identifying pop-out sentences that identify the central idea or support it. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And just as a reminder, central ideas answer this question. What does the author want me to learn about the topic, or in this case, the subheading? When we are finding the central idea in the pop-out sentences, we are going to switch from the topic and use the subheading when we get to the different sections of the text. Again, I want to stamp that the pop-out sentence will answer this question. So I am going to read this and I am thinking, what does the author want me to know about the plague and what wasn't a total surprise? I'm assuming to scientists, so what was not a total surprise to scientists about the plague? So I'm going to go ahead and read and figure that out. So scientists have been suspected that rat fleas might not have played a big role in the Black Death, says Michael Antolin. He's a biologist at Colorado State University in Fort Collins. It's nice to see a model that shows it could happen. Studying illnesses of the past is important for the future, Antolin notes. Those long ago outbreaks can teach a lot about how modern diseases might spread and kill. What we are looking for are the conditions that allow epidemics or pandemics to occur, he says. What can we learn? Can we predict the next big outbreak? So I'm going to stop because I still haven't found a sentence that answers the question about what scientists didn't find surprising. So I'm going to keep reading. Even if rats played a role in the Black Death, they wouldn't have been the biggest factor, Antolin explains. Instead, environmental conditions that allowed rats, fleas, and lice to spend so much time around people would have played a larger role. Until modern times, he notes, people were gross. They didn't wash often, and there were no modern sewers. Not only that, rats and mice could thrive in the straw that many people used in their beddings for roofing and floor coverings. Hard roofs and clean floors mean fewer places for ratty roommates, and the diseases might pass on to human fleas and lice. What stops plague isn't medicine or killing rats, Antolin says. Sanitation is what fixes the plague. So after reading this, I'm thinking that it wasn't a surprise that people got the plague and it spread so fast because they were unclean. So the central idea that I can pull out is that the author is trying to teach me that scientists were not surprised that rats did not spread the plague. It was because people were dirty, which means unsanitary. And that's what it says in the last sentence. He says, what stops the plague isn't medicine or killing rats. Antolin says, sanitation is what fixes the plague. So I found my central idea by asking myself, what does the author want me to learn about the subheading? And then I found a pop-out sentence to support this. The pop-out sentence is going to support my central idea. Your job today is going to be to identify the correct pop-out sentence. Typically, you are going to want to look in the first paragraph and last paragraph, but the pop-out sentence isn't always going to be in those places. So you are going to be finding central idea pop-out sentences for each section of your independent text, which is the explainer, what is the plague? You are going to start with the introduction, and I also just want to stamp that the central idea pop-out sentence is going to answer the central idea question. So you are going to have multiple choice questions to answer, and you will be able to see if you got the right one or not.